We are in the heart of Cape Town, where a very important discussion is underway. It's called the Taxi Peace Summit, where all role players from the industry within the taxi associations, the various taxi associations, and of course the overarching body, SANTACO, represented here, as well as provincial leadership from government and the city. In this year so far, 7 people have either been killed or injured as a result of struggles between the different taxi associations. But this is what this summit is all about, to find solutions, and we understand a lot of work has been done behind the scenes. But we speak now to one of the main players in the summit today. It's Mr. Mandla Hermanus, and he's the chairperson of SANTACO in the Western Cape. Mr. Hermanus, thank you so very much for your time. Talk to us, in the lead up to the summit, we heard now that a lot of work has been done behind the scenes. What are we talking about? What work has been done?
Now, we know from the beginning of the year, we've had some challenges where there have been incidences of violence within primary associations and certain mother bodies. So we've been working very hard with the mother bodies and even with our national office from SANTACO to try and intervene and mediate. As a result, we have been able to resolve a whole lot of issues in the Boland region, as well as an issue between Mfuleni and Somerset West. So we did a lot of work to ensure that we bring stability in those regions, even also in the Nyanga area, where last year we've seen an eruption of violence, shootings at the ranks, where even 20 taxis were banned at one stage. So all those things, we've been working very hard to resolve them. But what we have realized is that actually we are always reactive. Now, the reason why we are here also is to say, okay, what measures can we put in place so that we can actually be proactive and prevent these things before they happen, or at least identify areas where there could be possibility for conflict so that we can take remedial actions.
And then also, that's the most crucial aspect, because over 1 million people rely on your services in this province and in Cape Town. There's also big talk about the formalization, finally, of the industry. How soon do you think that would be a reality?
We've already taken steps in terms of formalization. As we speak, we've got a provincial company that represents all the 8 regions of the Western Cape. It's a formalized business structure with directors and the 8 regions as shareholders. We also have regional companies that are able to enter into contracts with the government, and we hold those companies to stringent requirements in terms of how companies are run, the Companies Act, and how directors should conduct themselves. So we want now, it's a matter of saying, okay, how do we cascade this to the primary association level, which is really the coalface of where we do our business, to say, how can we formalize the primary associations on the ground so that instead of having taxi bosses, you've got directors of a local taxi association company, which will be held to account in terms of company law, because now each association will formalize and see how it conducts its business. Accountability, it's up to the association to decide how they become accountable or not to their members. Whereas if you've got a formalized structure, then the issues of accountability become very crucial, and there could be consequences for not being able to account, or even things like misuse of funds. So that's where we are pushing. So we've already taken the 2 steps. At provincial level, it has been done. At regional level, it's done. Now we are pushing to the local level, which would be the primary associations. Some associations have already on their own embarked on that process, but we want now a process that must be driven intentionally by SANTACO in the province.
What is the reception, is what I was going to ask, because you were talking about taxi bosses now becoming directors. So what is the feeling on the ground about this formalization?
Every single taxi operator in the province wants a formalized structure, but we are mindful that there will be associations where the impact would be on those who had been acting as taxi bosses. So obviously those would not be so welcoming to an idea of having a formalized structure, because it might take away the power from them and what they are able to extract from their members. But every member in the province is actually looking forward to a day where these associations are formalized companies with accountability and financial management, So everyone is on board, but we do expect challenges in instances where there are people who are using the association's monies for their own ends. Obviously, they will be resistant to such a thing, but we will manage those dynamics as we go along.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Mandla Hermanus, the chairperson of SANTACO in the Western Cape, speaking to us there just at the beginning of the summit, really, where they will sit down and thrash out some of these issues and challenges that he was speaking about now. Number one is, of course, safety within the industry. Number two is formalization. We've heard there's a dream from SANTACO National saying people would be able to get into taxis and tap their cards. No more cash would be in the taxis, because that plays a big part in some of the struggles that we've seen within the different associations, and also the fights over routes. So formalization would go a very long way in creating better structures, better systems, and that is the focus of the summit. It's called a Peace Summit, with a view of one day seeing the taxi industry properly formalized throughout the country, and especially here in the Western Cape.